I would like to thank you, PTM leadership and the team who hold a very important conference today on the title The Oppressed Nations in Pakistan and the Human Rights. Before me, the learned Dr. Naseem, he is the chairman, shed lights on all the issues concerning with the historical nations under Pakistani occupation or administration. And I think he explained before you, although I don't like to repeat, but as a political party, it's my duty to say something regarding the regions. And the other persons, leaders, Zar Ali Khan, really after his speech, all the words had been finished. What the historical nation under Pakistani occupations facing, what the Baloch nations, the brave women from Balochistan and all over the Pakistani administrations, what they are facing, and the state, how much violated the human rights, and also the suppressed all those sand voices which is dedicated and committed with the human rights, dignity of the life, and promoting the life and liberty of the peoples. But unfortunately, Pakistani rulers, Pakistani establishment is not ready to listen any sand voice. And even these historical nation was forcibly divided. Before, it was a colonial era when British we were, although at that time the state of Jammu Kashmir was a semi-independent, we are not directly ruled by the British. But those areas which is created in the name of Pakistan was under the colonial rules. At that time, the great Baloch nation was enjoying more fundamental rights, and their life, their liberty, their culture, as compared to Pakistan, were more protected. The Pashtun areas, unfortunately, it was a great gain. And Pashtun, a historical nation, was divided due to the colonial powers' interest, and protect their interest, they divided Baloch nations. Although it was part and parcel of the, sorry to say if anybody has some kind of reservations, but as a student of history, Pashtun nation was always one, whether they are in Afghanistan or now they are divided and under Pakistan. But after Pakistan was created, all the historical nations has lose their representations, have lose their basic rights. And I fully endorse their Dr. Naseem and the Zar Ali Khan findings regarding the human rights violations and the nation's commitment. Dear President Afridi Sahib, I again thank you who invited us, although it is our common cause, and we are undeclared in an alliance since many years. We are organizing seminars, rallies, protests unitedly, whether it's Geneva, whether it's UK or anywhere else. And whenever we organize any program, any conference in European Parliament or in British Parliament, all oppressed nation representatives send their representatives to present their nations. I thank you for this all, and I think it is the time that we should come together and make an impressive, effective alliance to combat against the draconian laws, the colonial mindset, and represent the new situation. Because now the world is facing many crises. Recession is there. Some countries are waging war on different nations. So at this moment, we should analyze thoroughly what is the fate of our nations. Because it is prime responsibility of the diaspora, Pashtun, Afghan, Kashmiri, Sindhis, Baloch, to come together and make a powerful alliance so that we can send a message to the rulers of Pakistan, the Pakistani establishment, that don't think that you can behave like a king. You are living in a 21st century when the world is coming together. We are in an era where everybody, every person, whether he is belonging to any nations, think about the future of the world. So now you are accountable, and the diaspora play their role as a diaspora Pashtun, as a diaspora Kashmiris, as a diaspora Sindhi and Baloch. And we are in a positions to hold demonstration in front of Pakistani embassies. We are in positions to hold conferences, demonstrations, rallies, unitedly to accountable for the Pakistani rulers who actually behaving like a tyranny. Rulers, establishment is thinking that they are ruling the peoples and subjugating them with impunity and killing the peoples. No, we will not allow them. And now it is the time that we should make an accountable for the Pakistani rulers. And us world community join hand with us, because it is the British, it is the colonial powers actually who created this monster for the historical nations. We are not against any historical nation, but we are not allowed any nations to subjugate or to suppress any other historical nations. We are not allowing any nation state to divide us on their own interests. What is the national interest? National interest defined in the human rights charters, that everybody is equal. Everybody has the fundamental rights. But any state who invoke or to abrogate and did not ready to recognize their human rights should be accountable. Today, I stand before you to shed light on a pressing concern that demands our attentions: the plight of oppressed nations in Pakistan and associated human rights issues. It is crucial to recognize the complex dynamic at play, understanding the historical context, current challenges, and path forward. In the mosaic of Pakistan's diverse populations, we observe various ethnicities, cultures, and languages and historical nations. However, beneath this diversity lies a narrative of oppressions faced by the certain nations like the Sindhis, the Baloch, the Pashtuns, as well as the people of Gilgit-Baltistan and Pakistani administrator Azad Jammu and Kashmir. The struggle for equality and representation and protection of rights is a prime chapter in Pakistan's history. And it is unfortunate that Pakistan policymakers have always followed Cold War era. Pakistan's state institution did not learn anything from changing geopolitical realities in the contemporary social, economical and political environment. In modern epoch, at present, Pakistani military has controlled entire state machinery and created a hybrid system. That system has also created a space for black or illegal economy to serve its geostrategic interest. The exploitations of the natural resources of nations like Sindhis, Baloch, Pashtuns and Gilgit-Baltistan, and in my native areas known as Pakistani occupied Jammu and Kashmir, is unprecedented. One of the key challenges resides in the legal and constitutional framework. While the Constitution of Pakistan guaranteed fundamental rights, their effective implementations remain elusive for oppressed nations. Unequal representation and limited political participation hinder the voice of these nations in decision-making process. And the involvement of the secret agencies and deep state in political and economic affairs have further marginalized people and nations under colonial mindset of Pakistan. Moreover, human rights violation persist, casting a shadow over the principles of justice and equality. Instances of restricted freedom of expression, discrimination against religious and ethnic minorities, and gender-based inequality tarnish the nation's commitment to uphold the dignity of every individual. To address these issues, we must advocate for reforms in the legal and constitutional structures, ensuring equal representations and protection of minority rights is not just a legal obligation, but a moral imperative. It requires a collaborative efforts from the government, civil society and the international community. Open dialogue and constructive engagement are paramount in this journey. By fostering understanding among different communities and promoting inclusivity, we pave the way for a more just and harmonious society. Education and awareness initiatives play a crucial role, challenging stereotypes and prejudices that perpetuate discrimination. In conclusion, the road to justice and human rights for oppressed nation in Pakistan is a challenging but not insurmountable. It demands our collective commitment to fostering an environment where every citizen, regardless of their background, can thrive and contribute to the nation's progress. Let us stand united in advocating for our national rights curtailed by Pakistan and strive together where human rights are not just enshrined in the Constitution but are the lived reality for the oppressed nations and people under Pakistan. In this regard, it is our utmost demand to the international community to use their good offices and diplomatic connection with Pakistan to ensure right to life, liberty and dignity of all those who have been deprived since the creation of that country in 1947. At the end, I would unequivocally demand that Manzoor Pashtun, a veteran leader of PTM, should be immediately released, and all fake and fabricated charges against must be withdrawn. It is almost important to raise that from more than 6 months, the people of both peripheries, that is Gilgit-Baltistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, are protesting against illegal taxes levied in electricity bills and withdrawal from subsidies on food essential. I firmly stand with the peaceful demands of the PTM and Joint Public Action Committee striving in the regions. Thank you very much, dear friends. I take too much for your time. Again, I tender my apology.